You know what my watch is telling me?
Do you know what my watch is saying?
I've never heard that watch.
It's story time with BeachBurnBob, baby.
Right now on BeachBytes.
So I've been seeing a lot of things on the internet lately, and a lot of things that I've gone over and I've looked at, and I realized that I watch wrestling different than everyone else. And I've been looking and I can't find anyone else that does it. So either that gave me a couple ideas. Either one, this is a great topic for a video, or two, it's not, no one cares. That's why it's not all over the place. But I want to challenge you with something to sit back and look at how you watch wrestling, because I bet that I watch wrestling different than you do. And so today I want to explain why, after all these years, I love wrestling and it's still real. And where everyone says wrestling is cool again and on fire, I never thought that it changed. And I see this completely different than I have. I've scoured the internet looking to see if anyone else watches wrestling, and I found a couple of people that explain their journey into wrestling. I find that stuff interesting. So today, sit back, grab your favorite beach beverage, and let me take you on a journey of how I watch wrestling and why I think it's still so awesome and completely real all these years later. And it fascinates me that other people don't watch wrestling this way, and I think you might find it fascinating that I do watch wrestling this way. So as you're going through this video as subjects I talk about, comment down below what your experience is with it. And we're going to start out with where it all began for BeachBurnBob and his journey into this wrestling world. And it's a little different. Everyone says, the fun thing is I'm in the Attitude Era kid, but I go back a little bit further than that. The first magic of wrestling that I ever saw was Hogan Warrior, that I remember seeing that big match, the Intercontinental title and the WWF Championship match. We're going to unify belts, and that hadn't been done before. And that is my first fond memory of wrestling, where I was like, oh, this is awesome. I have to see more of this. But we're going to fast forward a few years, because wrestling's always been in and out of my household as I was growing up. But my parents didn't want me to watch wrestling all the time, or, it was a pastime. Like if it was on Saturday nights, I would watch it. It was a treat to stay up late and watch wrestling. And the first time that I fell in love with wrestling, where I knew that this was something that I was never going to let go of, we go to the Hell in a Cell match, Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, and the night that Kane debuted. When that happened, that hit a light bulb switch in my brain. And from that point on, I loved wrestling. I wanted to know everything about it. Who's your favorite wrestler? What's this finishing move? Why does this matter? And I found myself watching wrestling all the time. Now, I did not have cable, so I was not the Monday Night War kid that so many I see. It's like, I didn't watch Monday Night Wars. I watched Shotgun Saturday Night and WCW Worldwide. That is how I got my weekly recap of what went on Raw and Nitro. And then later, when SmackDown came on network television on the good old UPN, that was my first experience of watching a full wrestling show. My first WrestleMania that I actually watched and paid money for wasn't until WrestleMania 2000, a McMahon in every corner. And the reason why I give you a little bit of this backstory first is so you can see where my introduction was. But this is how I watch wrestling different than everybody else that I've seen. And I find this so cool and a little weird, because I thought there would be more like this of me. So to begin the journey we talk about, as we fast forward, let's look at today's time. I love wrestling just as much now as I did back when I was a kid. I'm still enamored by it. I still love the surprises. The fact that CM Punk returned, and he left and he returned, I didn't see coming. And the reason why I didn't see it coming was, after all these years, I still don't use the internet for wrestling spoilers. I don't understand that concept. It makes my hat hurt. If you're gonna watch a new movie that come out or your favorite TV shows, you're not watching developer interviews and commentary and this is why we shot this shot or this is why this character does that. I want to sit down with my popcorn and my drink and watch the movie with Wolverine Deadpool coming out to theaters. I don't want to watch why Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds did this movie. I'll watch all that afterwards. I want to enjoy the Deadpool Wolverine ride that they're going to take us on. And I'd still take that approach with wrestling all these years later. The dirt sheets have never made sense to me. They have a 10% accuracy rating if you actually look at it through the years.
What?
So I've never been the dirt sheet guy. I tune in every week to sit down to watch SmackDown or Monday Night Raw. And I just sit there and I enjoy and watch the show. I don't go on social media and read your spoilers or read what I think's gonna happen because it doesn't matter to me. Because to me, what I want to watch wrestling is the product that's coming out. I'm very intrigued. And when Bray Wyatt came back and the QR code started popping, I never went to the QR codes to see what they were because I wanted to see the story that WWE was telling me. When we fast forward and look at behind the scenes stuff, I watch WWE productions. If it's the Bray Wyatt story that Bo Dallas put together, that was my first initial peek behind the curtain of everything that Bray Wyatt went through. A WWE production. Not all the dirt sheets, not all of the spoilers that go with it. And wrestling is still cool. I was that kid growing up that I always thought wrestling was cool and I was made fun of for it because it was wrestling. And that era never changed for me because wrestling has always been cool from day one. I fell in love with it. I knew this is what I wanted to, be a part of. Fast forward, I am a WWE partner, which is crazy. Meanwhile, if you're looking for any WWE merchandise, check the link in description and save. If you're going to any WWE shows in your area, use the code BeachBurn and save with SeatGeek and you can get those $20 off your first tickets. Did I throw an ad in there? I did, but I threw it in to tell you this. When I go to WWE shows, I'm more surrounded by my kind of people that just come to watch the wrestling shows. They watch Monday Night Raw. They watch SmackDown. They don't know that Cody's company even existed because if you don't have cable, you don't know anything about it. It is WWE. And that's still amazing to me that in my everyday life I can find it, but not on the internet. So I can't be the only one that does it this way. I don't use social media the way that normal people, I guess, would use social media. I'm not scrolling all the time to see who got fired, who got signed, because 90% of the time it's wrong. It's only if it comes from the wrestler's mouth or if it comes from WWE, I will entertain that idea. Wrestling is still real to me. Otherwise, I don't. My wrestling experience has not been ruined. If anything, it's better. The Triple H LeBeck era is something that has reignited what I loved the Attitude Era for. What I loved the new generation for was I have to tune in each week to see what's going to happen. And I actually want to tune in each week. I don't want to go see spoilers. I want to sit down with my drink, have dinner, come sit and watch SmackDown and relax for the evening, or watch Raw or the pay-per-views. I don't want to know who's there. When Punk screwed Drew, I knew nothing about it, and it was awesome. I found out just like everyone in that arena did when the camera panned and that referee was CM Punk. That was absolutely amazing. With Howdy's debut upcoming, I know nothing that he is bringing with him to the table. And that very much excites me. Through other news, I know where Roman's at right now. I know where The Rock's at is right now. It's all over ESPN and stuff. But for wrestling, I'm waiting for our tribal chief to destroy this bootleg bloodline. I don't know where Jimmy Uso is. I'm expecting him to show up anytime now, and that is fun to me. Of course, you can go on social media and scroll through and watch the whole show on it, but I think you're doing yourself a disservice because this is the greatest form of entertainment of all time to me. And let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this, because I'm curious. Am I the only one that watches wrestling this way? Because I've been watching wrestling this way since the 90s, and it's never changed. There is opportunities out there to find out stuff you want to know. I choose not to because I want to sit back and enjoy the show. The legit pop I get when I see a title change or when I see a new debut, it still is cool now as it was when I was 10 years old. Why would I ever want to ruin that experience by going and looking up and reading stuff that isn't there? So wrestling still is real for me, and I think that's awesome. And that is what we're going to bring to the channel as we go through. Of course, we cover all of the wrestling games, but Smack Attack will be returning very soon in a new, never before seen incarnation of it. And I found something and a way to cover wrestling that I've never seen before, and I can't wait to share it with you. So if you're interested in that, or if you're interested in the wrestling video games, all of them, comment down below and hit that subscribe button so you never miss out. But I wanted to take you in under the hat a little bit so you could see exactly how I approach wrestling. And the whole point is to see how you approach wrestling. Is there more of me out there that I haven't found yet that just sit back, enjoy the show for what it is, and wait for next week to happen? Or is there more that you watch it all on social media and the way I watch wrestling is a complete foreign concept to you? Comment down below. And for all WWE content, WWE game content, check out those videos right there. Remember, make life your beach. We'll see you on the next video.
Revolutionize your experience with Hex Gaming premium custom controllers. Use code BEACH to save at checkout.